kind of want to watch this video. This was like the second one in his. I guess it's like a series. I didn't know it was a series. Oh, there's it. There it is. There it is. Hold on. Let me just pull that up.
The Papa's game series has been a beloved collection of Flash games for millions of players since the mid-2000s. Yet for years, nobody has tried to figure out how or why these games have the major events they do. Through over a decade of games, I believe that I have found an inescapable rabbit hole of plot that all trickles down into an ever-growing corrupt monopoly led by Papa Louie, a criminal master.
Is that what I have to do? Okay. Okay, buddy. So I want you guys to be able to see like who it's by.
A criminal mastermind who single-handedly took control of his country to his benefit. In this universe, he is either the most dangerous man alive or the most oblivious. This series takes place in the fictional world called the Flipverse. Now, the Flipverse is a landmass of unknown size, yet it's large enough to have at least.
I didn't even know it was its own country.
I was initially considering the idea of
its own world. I thought it was just like
1,000 by 1,000 miles.
So
the island is definitely large
Earth.
enough for a modernized society with multiple towns, as every game tends to be in a different major location. A more similar comparison would be the largest island of Hawaii, for example,
Louie's
which
universe?
would be slightly
multiple?
larger than 10,000 square miles. Also, assuming that the release date of each game is considered the point that the opening cutscene plays at each game, we can assume that at some point, likely years before the first game, in the town of Tastyville, Papa Louie opens a pizzeria. He names this pizzeria Papa's Pizzeria. At some point, Papa Louie decides to host a free pizza day, like the nice guy he is, which leads us to November 6th, 2006. Free Pizza Day has arrived. It's pretty nice of him to do this for the community, but Louie and Roy have a ton of work to make up for it. And as a result, Louie makes sentient pizzas on accident, and as punishment, Louie, Roy, and over a dozen innocent customers are sent to Munchmore,
Wait, what?
a hell dimension which forces Louie to save all of his customers. At the end of this adventure, it's actually revealed that a sentient and evil onion named Sarge created the enemies with evil pepper in order to ruin free pizza.
I didn't know this was part of the lore.
Papa Louie then beats Sarge and then actually gives out the free pizzas, as promised at the start of the game. Louie is praised and probably regarded as a hero. Which would
I thought it was
be
just
the
like
rise of
a
his
restaurant
power.
simulator.
But canonically, his flip deck card. By the way, there's like a card series for like every character in these games. Papa Louie's reads, he's a lovable Italian chef who got his start selling delicious pizzas. He has a legion of fanatic customers who are willing to try anything Papa Louie has to offer, whether it's free pizza parties or the keys to his latest restaurant. Papa Louie is always trying to reward his customers. The worst thing he does in this series is probably 9 months later.
Insane.
In August 7th, 2007. Louie basically gives Roy a card and says, okay, good luck, bozo, and abandons him to solo the entire restaurant along with every single responsibility it holds for an undetermined amount of time. This includes cooking, serving, being in charge of the front, and probably pizza delivery still. But he's only paid in tips, and that is bad. Papa Louie only returns when Roy receives all the gold medals in the pizzeria. During his time missing, Papa Louie is off doing stuff, I guess, and wouldn't expand his empire further for another 3 years. 3 years later, December 6th, 2007. This is the legacy of Papa's Burgeria. In the neighboring town of Tastyville, in Burgerburg, Rita / Marty find a golden ticket in their mail, which is also a map for a scavenger hunt. When your character reaches the Burgeria, Louie makes his grand return with Roy, also being there, I guess. Who's running the pizzeria? Nobody knows. Wacky hijinks ensue. He gives you the entire restaurant. Maybe you own it now. Maybe you only work for it. It's not really explained. He just gives you the keys. You still get paid in tips. Still bad. May 20th, 2011. Papa's Taco Mia. Taking place in the far southwest of
finally
the
some representation
Taco Dale.
for
Louie still
los
considers employment at
Mexicanos.
his restaurants as prizes. This
I'm sure
time,
tacos
the keys
are,
to the restaurant are given to whoever
Latino
can
and
win
Hispanic
the taco
cultures, but
eating
you know,
contest.
whatever.
Mitch or Maggie end up winning the contest after hours and hours and hours of painful taco consumption. This is revealed when the trophy is actually ownership to the taco meal. Otherwise, make food, get wages that are definitely not going to keep the business afloat. And
Dude,
Louie
that is
returns
like
with the milk once he learned how to make Mexican
that is a weird
cuisine.
reward.
Hooray! August 5th, 2011 is when
Like,
Papa's
here, take
Freezeria
over.
takes
I'm
place.
kinda
For
bored
the
of this place
first
anyways.
time in Papa's history, your character decides to find a job instead of being a victim of peer pressure or getting ownership.
Yeah, that's wild.
Alberto or Penny apply for a job on a deserted island. The manual they're seen reading promises stress-free work and has a
I think
solid
that's one that I played
population
the
of
most.
12.
Was the
But
Freezeria.
right
That's why I didn't
after
know
you
about the
start
whole
your
like
first day,
contest where it's
Louie
like
comes in
him
with a
randomly
cruise
giving
ship
you
named the SS Louie for what I would assume is for vacations or
How rich is
visiting
this
or
guy?
visit
What the
something
heck?
else.
I mean,
I don't really
I guess
know.
Papa has
Everything
to be
else
kind
is
of
the
rich
exact
to
same.
do,
Why?
to do
One more
all
thing is
this.
added to the formula, which is decorations. On the bottom of the poster your character looks at, they fail to read that employees are expected to use their earned tips on decoration, which, by the way, these decorations are worth
okay.
a lot. There
I
is
take
no
back what I
way
said by the
Papa
most
Louie is
ethical
deliberately
business
forcing his employees to only get paid in tips and then buy
person.
decorations.
I don't know.
That's
I don't know
probably
titles to
illegal.
things.
Like how did the next game is Papa's Pancakeria in
What?
March 5th of 2012. You play as Prudence, and the other guy
Prudence,
I forgot
that's such
his
an
name.
unfortunate
Your pet
name.
jumps out of a car and goes missing.
Sorry to all
Oh
the
no!
Prudences out
Louie
there.
finds your dog and takes care of it until you pick it up. And here he pulls a worse version of what he did to Roy in the pizzeria, and he just goes, "Hey, your dog likes it here. Can you work for me for a little bit? Bye."
Even Prudence is like, what the hell? I just
June
walked
13th,
in.
2012. Chuck/Mandy win a free trip to Starlight City. They get dropped off next to a giant roulette wheel where he's just watching. You get a spin that may or may not have been rigged, but who cares? You just
It's
won
probably
Papa's
rigged.
Ringaria.
He seems
but
to
if
just be
Starlight
trying to, like,
City is far enough to warrant
Get rid. Like he's probably making all the money and letting other people. Like he's franchising it, but not
you
really.
would work there
You
if
know?
you need a free trip to get to
Oh, I
Starlight
played
City.
Wingaria
It's like
for sure.
living in Ohio and then winning a
That's
free trip
definitely Guy
to
Fieri,
Seattle and then
for
being
sure.
told to work there. You can't do that. Louie, what is wrong with you? That doesn't make sense. It's rigged for the start. From this point on, Louie doesn't end up giving away restaurants or anything. He just does some pretty nice things, and there's definitely a shift in his actions at this point. Most of these are just him hiring people that are in a bad situation or need assistance. He's a little
Louie.
confused, but he's definitely got the spirit. November 19th, 2012. Taylor and Peggy love baseball in Tastyville.
But how do we know
Everyone
that?
loves
Is it,
baseball
like,
in
in a
Tastyville.
cutscene?
They love pizza and baseball,
Or,
like all
we
flip
find out
variants.
he's actually
These
like
silly
trying to help
Billies
people out.
fail
now.
to get a seasonal ticket and decide to work at Papa's Hot Doggeria in order to watch the games for
Hot
free.
Doggeria,
So
yes,
everyone's
sir.
shocked. They actually have to work and make the hot dogs while watching the baseball games. Otherwise, what's the point? June 5th, 2013. It's Free Burger Day. Hey, wait a minute. June 13th, 2013. It's Free Burger Day. Life in Papa's Burgeria has massively improved for everyone. There are 2 whole employees now. That's
Oh,
double the
that's
staff that
crazy.
we saw in 2010. One of them even has a car.
like
the
it's a
restaurant
sequel.
is full
That's
of
cool.
free fellows on
I
Burger
didn't know
Day
they had
until a
sequels.
strange shadowy man wearing a thick jacket and fedora throws a
Okay.
warp coin. By the way, keep track of the
Uh.
warp coin. This is going to be pretty important later on. They throw it into the tick
Little
jar, which
sketch,
brings
though.
back
Little
Sark
sketch
and all of the
design.
evil food from Munchmore. Oh no! The strange man is
So it is a
actually
separate
Radley
game.
Maddish. Who
The
is
whole-
he?
this
I don't
thing.
know.
This
What
one's
does he
a
want to
separate game.
do?
It's like a
I
spin-off.
don't know. But he
I was
sure is
confused.
bad.
And it's
we
still
gotta
part of
beat
this
the Burgers
canon,
in List to
apparently,
save the
which is
day.
wild.
Eventually, same thing as before, everyone is saved, and the employees rescue Louie, who was a war prisoner at the moment because I guess he was too strong in the first game. And then everyone moves on because there's no reason at all to be sad on Free Burger Day of all days. August 7th, 2013. Louie and Roy get the approval to make a cupcake bakery in Frostfield, which is pretty dang far away from everyone else and everything else. Your stupid
isolated,
character
yeah.
drives into Roy's cart, and Louie says, "Don't
Roy.
worry, you can pay it off by working for me." And he lets you work at the bakery to pay it off. And then you do. That's it. That's
like,
that's the
what?
entire- that's all of Cupcakeria. December 9th, 2013. Things get bananas.
None of this
This
seems
game's
legal.
plot is a love story
Things get
following the
bananas.
elderly and the man of class, Edorado, as he engages to Olga.
Real what happened to
Donate-
my man Louie.
Utah, these names are awful. They get wedding
Yeah, they
invitations to Port Louie,
Never once
but
has
they
it been a
can't
good
get
name.
any
Roy's
hotel
just fine.
reservations for a single weekend
Haven't seen
3
any
months
other
in
good
advance.
names.
Oh no!
Any other
But
good
wouldn't
name? Sorry,
like
I mumble
every
way
other
too
character
much.
have this
Need to
issue
pronounce
too?
my words
Like,
better.
wouldn't everyone just fail to get hotel reservations? Eduardo, you doofus, nobody's gonna be able to make it to the wedding. So you decide, in order to get to Portolini, you buy the employee package, and then immediately get a delivery with a Pastoria uniform and an airline ticket from Burgerber to Portolini with a date time of immediately, which is kind of uncool. 3 months later, when you hit rank 65, the wedding actually happens and Papa Louie officiates, which implies that along with giving away 3 restaurants, owning at least 6 other ones, and having a cruise ship, he is canonically a registered priest.
Huh.
June 14th, 2014.
Oh, that's what his name.
That's
why his name's Papa Louie.
You want to get a free fast pass to the iconic roller coaster, the Sky Ninja, I guess.
Yeah, that's
assuming your character is only doing this for the fast pass, they are a massive Dumbo and totally deserve to watch the Sky Ninja get delayed for another year, which means that your little goon is now part of Papa Louie's empire. But eventually the Sky Ninja does work, which is cool. On March 4th, 2015, the Sunday's attack. This follows the SS Louie we saw back in Papa's Freezeria. The cruise is filled to the brim with people, with over a dozen guests, and they're all celebrating the Seaside Freezeria, which is like a Freezeria but on a cruise ship. Radish Guy does an evil and does the Hell Dimension thing and sends everyone to Munchmore again, which is not cool. But it doesn't matter because the bad gets no win. He doesn't win because he's a bad guy, and bad guys don't win. Everyone celebrates their victory by running off the ship as fast as possible. The next game takes place
I'm sorry, that wasn't me.
I
didn't realize I was saying that.
If you are lactose intolerant, please cover your ears because I'm talking about Papa's Cheeseria.
It's just to see we hate bad guys and then put up a guy.
Scarlet and the Shakers are gonna perform on opening night. But right after checking in with Louie, all the equipment is stolen because of the situation. Scarlet and or Rudy have to work and earn money to get new equipment. Honestly, good job, Louie. That's pretty dang respectful.
You're just scamming people into working for him,
you try to help. After months of working, you reach rank 65. The cool man policeman Hank arrests Guy Mortadello, but all the equipment is returned, and they have a concert at the grilled cheese restaurant. Hooray! March 14th, 2016. Cecilia, or Tim, with 2 M's instead of 1.
That looks like the guy from that 70s show. Like that one character. I haven't watched the show, so I don't know his name, but it's
really shooting for the stars there. You apply and get the job. Woohoo! But the store is closed for lease when you arrive. Oh no! Then Louie skedaddles to your devastated character and offers you the chance to work at his bakery. In my opinion, that seems better than a dance studio. You work there, same old, but at the ending of the game, this is probably the nicest thing Papa Louie does. After 9 months of working, Papa Louie gives you a Christmas present. He buys the closed dance studio for your character. That's a pretty expensive and nice thing to do for an employee, so I gotta give props to him for that. Even though he doesn't have knees. The next game in the timeline is Slider Scouts. It was released on October 4th of 2016.
Yeah, did you know that you have to pay for the Papa games? Like, they're free on, like, cool math games. But you have to pay for them on, like, the app versions of them. That's wild. Like, I think there's some that are free. But I think for, like, the OG, like, Papa Pizzeria one, you actually have to pay for that one. That's insane. I mean, I'll just play, like, the SpongeBob version of it. That one's free.
November 13th, 2016, it has officially been 1 whole decade since the pizzas have attacked, and Louie opens a sushi place, which is literally on the opposite side of the pizzeria and everything else, but that's okay. Matt or Clover win a trip to Sakura Bay, but not to get a new restaurant, just to get an early tour. Yes, you, of all people, get to go across the country to get a sneak peek of that sushi fast food place from Papa Louie. But you, being the silly character you are, knock over a lucky cat statue, and Louie decides it's no big deal. Nothing can go wrong.
Idiot,
the next day,
it's so adorable how stupid he is.
Nobody comes to the grand opening, and Louie blames it on the cat statue.
Bro. Get
Not
out of
because
here,
you're in a deserted area.
Get out.
They'll
never come back.
It's just because of you. So, as punishment, Louie decides that you can work for him, and eventually he'll use those tips to buy a giant cat statue, which he does. He buys a giant golden cat statue, and a ton of customers show up, which is cool and awesome. A year and a half later, it's July 24th, 2018, and Carlo Romano and or
yes, sir. Best design.
Coily
and
go
worst
to the
design.
big city
Wow,
to
side by
celebrate
side.
the fact
Best
that they
design,
all
worst
have
design,
weird
side by
names.
side. That's
They
crazy.
go to Onion Town, a town with
Superia.
that name because apparently onions fell into the ocean at some point. You do stuff. You go shopping, and you even
Whoa,
take a
that
picture
shirt?
next to
What's
Onion
with that
Jenny.
eggplant, bro?
Whoa! Tubular. But just like
What, was it a
Pasturia,
grape?
but objectively dumber, you can't find a hotel.
No, it's an
Very
eggplant
kind
for
hotel
sure.
worker offers you a room for rent, but then it's
I
revealed that
love
this kind
eggplants.
gentleman is actually
Oh, it's
Guy
supposed to be an
Mortadello.
onion? I
Oh
wasn't paying
no,
attention when he
he's
said
back for
anything.
vengeance. He's out of jail now and he steals your things. Oh great heavens, what are you to do now? Next day, July 25th, 2018. You wake up and you find out that your room was actually the Scooperia under construction. And
Bro.
Louie employs you after realizing you don't have any money to get home or get your things or some sort of third thing. Same old game,
Some
same
sort
old
of-
stuff. And eventually Guy Mortadello gets arrested.
Ow.
Again. Papa
Who's
Louie
catching
hands
this
you
guy?
back all the things you were
Was he
stolen.
on the run? Did he
even gets you a
escape?
golden ice cream scoop. Large time gap, 2.5 years later. It's March 2nd of 2021. Your character applies for a job and is hired at the Mocharia
I
in
don't
New
like that
Pepperton.
design.
There's no twist this time. That's the entire thing.
Oh,
but
you use supplies.
you
that's
have
it.
to work in a documentary
Oh,
that
okay.
will premiere at the Sugarplex
Mocharia.
Film
That
Fest.
sounds
That
fun.
happens, and you
That
get
one I kinda
awards.
wanna play.
Customers are also being credited for
I
being
like
customers.
coffee.
Good job, Wally.
I like
And this
coffee.
brings us to the most recent point in the timeline. It is February 22nd, 2022.
Oh
which is
snap! How long
actually
have these games been
2
going on for? Wait, I didn't see the date for the other one. When was that? When did this one happen?
2.5 years later, it's March 2nd.
Oh, snap. So these games are still going. That's crazy. I did not know that. Oh, did I go too far?
Plex for being customers. Good job, Wally. And this brings us to the most recent point in the timeline. It is February 22nd, 2022, which is actually 2/22/22, and it's on a Tuesday. This
On a
does not matter to the
Tuesday.
plot, just wanted to throw that out. Olivia and
Olivia.
Wyland B are looking for
Okay,
a job
never mind.
at
Take it back.
Oilseed
Those are the best
Springs.
designs
They
I've ever
apply
seen.
and get hired
Those
at
are the best
Papa's
ones in Paparia.
Cluckeria.
Cluckeria.
And 3 weeks
Ooh,
later,
and best
you get a
game
notification
ever.
that the Cluckeria
Chicken
is
sandwiches.
competing against
Dude,
other
I
chicken
am
places
in,
and other
dude.
unassorted
I am
restaurants
so
nearby.
in. I
Papa
wanna
Louie
play this one.
responds by
I love chicken
abandoning
sandwiches,
you.
dude.
That's right. The current most recent event in this series is a war arc. One by
What?
one, each enemy falls. Mortadello is back. Just kidding, he's gone now because of health violations. He
Oh.
was serving pigeon meat. As Valentine's Day approaches, which would mean that we're currently in February of 2023, New Coop closes because investors like Cluckeria's slushies more, I guess. That's it. That's their entire thing. Summer of 2023. The Crumple sisters have a new recipe at the Crumple family chicken restaurant place, and it's actually the secret formula that was stolen from Papa Louie. Papa Louie returns and the Crumple sisters are questioned for stealing Papa Louie's Krabby Patty secret formula, and as a punishment they are thrown into
Always
a
knew there
maximum
were some
security prison
bitches.
with no chance of escape. The chicken sandwich wars are over, and Papa is victorious. But just
Yes,
kidding,
sir.
the following day, it's revealed that
Plus
the
one.
Crumple sisters used a warp coin from when the burgers attacked,
What?
all the way back in 2013.
I completely
At this
forgot about
point,
the warp
and
coin. He said to
from what I
remember
can
it, I
tell,
forgot
everything
it.
that's gone on. I have no idea how Papa Louie is such a tyrant he is. I have no idea what all of these customers do in their free time besides eat food at unassorted restaurants across the country, and I have no idea how large the actual country
You know what's
is.
funny?
Is it
This guy reminds me of, like, as soon as I saw that guy, I immediately thought, I think he's played like a park ranger before. Or was his name is actually Tim Meadows? Oh, that was his character name. This guy. This guy just reminds me of this guy for some reason. Like, instantly I thought of this guy. Oh my god. He must have played like a park ranger or something for me to like immediately just think of him. Probably like in a sketch or something. This guy's actually really funny. I like this dude. anytime he pops up in a movie or a show, I'm like, okay, if the show or movie isn't good, I'll like enjoy his performance. Like this isn't a good example of what I'm talking about because I actually do like the movie, but Popstar is actually a really funny movie, and he comes out as like a. It's supposed to be like a Lonely Island, like Andy Samberg, his group. It's supposed to be like a movie about them, like a little like not parody, but in a way parody of like them. Um, and he's supposed to be like their manager, and he's really funny in that movie. I can't show you a
Restaurants
clip.
across the
Yeah, I don't
country,
think I can.
and I have no
But
idea how large the
yeah,
actual
trust me on
country
this one.
is.
Just look up
Is
a
it
clip.
even a country?
Look up the B clip. Let me search this up for you, so it could be like an easier find for you guys. Popstar B scene. Yeah, it's probably this one. Yeah, it's probably it's so dumb. It is a funny movie, and nobody talks about it, which sucks.
Is it an island? Is it the entire planet? I don't care. I don't think you should care either. This is a silly cartoon series about cooking food. The characters don't even have knees. I want to see Roy be successful. I want to see redemption arc for Guy Mortadello. I want to see what the Crumple sisters are up to. But maybe, just maybe, we'll find out what all of these characters have in store in the next installment, or at least what I think the next installment will be, Papa's Stir Fryeria.
Yes, sir. Stir fry is
okay, but
so
seriously,
good.
how did he afford the SS Louie?
He seems to have some interesting videos. Like this one was pretty good. I like this one. But it looks like he has some more interesting. Yeah, I know. He has some ones that I'm pretty interested in. Look at those thumbnails. They're such good thumbnails. Like these are just banger thumbnails. They're generally the same, but still, I mean,